So do you need money to get a VA home loan? The answer is absolutely yes, but let's talk about how much and the potential to get some of that back. So how much cash do you need? Short answer, $3,810. Now, can this number vary? Absolutely it can. It can vary quite a bit. So let's talk about what's included in that number so you can figure out specifically how much it might be for you. The common misconception most of us veterans have is that because the VA is a no down payment program, that means we can buy a home without having any money. Well, good luck with that. The moment you execute a purchase contract, you're going to be required to make an earnest money deposit. People don't just take their properties off the market for 30 days to give you time to secure financing without you first having a little bit of skin in the game. Earnest money is typically going to be deposited with the title company that's handling that transaction. If you're buying a home from a home builder, you'll often give that money directly to them. If for whatever reason you don't abide by the rules or don't adhere to the dates as set forth in your purchase contract, or you back out of the deal outside of the allotted time period, the seller can potentially keep the earnest money and put the property back on the market. Now here in Dallas-Fort Worth, the average price for earnest money is 1% of the sales price. So seeing as how the median home price in DFW is $256,000, for many veterans that means their earnest money deposit will be $2,560. But what's the median home price in the area you want to buy in? And what's 1% of that number? Although this next expense is optional, it's really not. I highly advise against buying a property without getting a home inspection. You need a trained professional to go through that property, test all the systems, and make you aware of any deficiencies within the property. A home inspection will cost you generally around $400, and it's worth every penny if it saves your ass from a $200,000 plus money pit. Be sure to watch my video on home inspections to get more guidance on what you can expect and also how to respond to the inspector's report. The VA also requires you to get a wood-destroying insect report, commonly referred to as a termite inspection. Now you can generally get this in conjunction with your home inspection. If your home inspector doesn't provide this service, they often partner with a pest control company that does. Expect this to cost about $150. Now, one of the primary killers of real estate deals is the home inspection and the wood-destroying insect report. Generally, you'll have a provision in your contract that gives you enough time to get both of these back and back out of the contract without any penalties. That means we can cancel the deal and get all of the earnest money back. Now, this period of time is called the option period. And as I'm sure most of you have already guessed, we have to pay a fee in order to have this tool at our disposal. The name of that fee is the option fee. You can expect to write a check for about $150 or so for the option fee. Now, the option fee is credited towards the purchase price of the home, but it's non-refundable if you back out of the contract. Should you find yourself needing the seller to make some type of special accommodation, you may need to write a much bigger earnest check. Now, an example of that might be needing to take possession of the property before closing, or needing to write an abnormally long contract, or needing to extend the option period or extend the closing date after the initial contract has been signed. All these are examples, but this list is not all inclusive. Lastly, the VA and your lender will require you to get an appraisal. The appraisal helps determine what the value of the property is and ensures that the property is worth at least what the veteran has agreed to pay for it. You can expect to spend around $550 for that. So let's recap. $2,560 would be the earnest money on the median home in Dallas-Fort Worth, $400 for the home inspection, $150 for the wood-destroying insect report, another $150 for the option fee, and $550 for the appraisal. All that comes to a grand total of $3,810. Or is that the total? There's one thing we left out, but before we dig into that, let's talk about what you can get back. Remember that the earnest money and the option fee is credited towards the purchase price of the home. In this example, the amount of those two things combined was $2,710. So if you were buying a home for $256,000, by the time you got to closing, the amount you still owed would be reduced by the amount of the earnest money and the option fee. But remember that the VA allows for 100% financing, which means your lender is going to wire an amount equal to the total purchase price of the property, in this example, $256,000. That means that there would be an overpayment on your behalf in the amount of your earnest money and your option fee, and that can be refunded to you at closing. But it's important for us veterans to understand that we need to have that money on the front end, even if we plan on getting it back later. Now, what expenses did we leave out? Closing costs and settlement fees. So for a breakdown on that, be sure to watch my video, How Much Your VA Closing Costs, where I'll be breaking down by line item exactly what you should expect.